Hi friends, it's Sunday, November 2nd, 2014. Lynn and Jamie here, continuing our assignment. We are instructed to have a back to basics session today, so our intention for the videoed session is to heal the root causes of the lack of alignment with our soul plans in this multiverse known as Grandma You, and to trigger the awakening for the remnants of the free will universe. Right now, right now, right now. And with that, it begins. And I see this circle of chairs. It's in a white room. It's clearly a rehearsal space.
Yes.
And people are walking in, and there's someone at the door with a clipboard checking off like that they belong.
Yeah.
There are exactly 100 chairs set up, and they're numbered from 1 to 100, and when I sit on one, the 100 is the one next to me.
Yes.
You know? So that must be, and they're in order, order, and it goes counterclockwise,
Yes.
and then it comes to one again. We all have assigned seats. We have it's like when you go to a wedding and they give you a number that has your seat on it or your table on it. It's a fun game, you know, jostling and kind of having fun as we find our seats
number.
and find our seats. People are starting to move the chairs to face inward, and somebody says, no, stop it. It's set up perfectly.
Yeah.
So let's turn around. There is somebody speaking, somebody wonderful, kind of like future Charlie speaking, right?
Yes.
And all of us are starting to vibrate without effort on our part, and there's also someone reminding us, left shoulder in, hands down and back, upward flow, keep it going, oneness chakra open, wider, target to target, bloop, 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 target to target, everybody, they say all together now, and they mean the bloop, bloop move, all together now, bringing your hands together, skinny as you need to be to hit the target, bloop, 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 bloop. Try to make yourself skinny like a harp string. Notice how when you're too thick, it's hard to vibrate properly. Try to make yourself skinny like a harp string. Try to become a harp string. There's somebody now picking up this musical instrument and taking it to like music lesson. It's somebody the size of Grandma Universe's universe, it seems to me. Huge. If I were a betting person, I'd say this is like a young adolescent boy. He wants to learn it for reasons that don't have to do with the love of music itself.
And this is a rare instrument.
It is.
Not many people can play this.
And then the teacher doesn't look like he loves this student.
No.
It looks like he dreads this lesson.
That's true.
And he says, you aren't putting in any effort into this. I can't teach you what you aren't willing to work to learn. Sounds like what the wizard, kind of like what the wizard was saying yesterday. It's the same tone, but he's saying it to this student and saying, this is a waste of my time and your parents' money.
That's true.
And I'm not going to do it anymore. It's obvious you don't want to do this. Just quit. I think he kind of storms out and leaves the instrument on the teacher's piano.
Yeah.
And now the instrument just sits there kind of getting dusty, you know?
Yes.
Because no one is wanting to play it. It's a difficult instrument to play. And then this really young child comes along, maybe a girl.
Yes, I see a little girl.
Yeah, really young. She says, Grandpa, Grandpa, can I play it? And he says, wow. He calls her something like Sugar.
Yeah.
Well, Sugar, it's not an easy instrument to learn, but you're a bright girl. You could learn it. And she starts to try. And time passes. Days, weeks, months, years pass because she doesn't look like a little girl anymore.
No, like a young woman.
A young woman. And I see her.
She's very good.
Stepping onto a stage.
In a vast concert hall.
In a vast concert hall. And this is her instrument.
Yes.
And she plays it well, and she has a solo tonight. She feels ready. She feels like she's worked her whole life for this moment. And that all the years, the decades of practice have all come together, and all the many teachers she's had, and all the deep and wonderful learning she's had, and the beautiful experiences of practice have all come together to this moment, and now she gets to play in front of, and it feels like
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, it feels like Carnegie Hall. She's going to play it really, really, really well. She's peaceful, she's not nervous.
No.
She is in the zone, and the accompaniment starts, you know, the overture.
Yes.
And she's just kind of like playing, but it's not the solo part,
Not
you know,
yet.
it's not yet, but she's playing, and that gives her fingers a chance to be sure that they are there, you know?
Yes.
And she's getting very altered state, you know?
Yes.
And then it's like her part swells, like it gets louder, and the
Yeah.
other instruments drop away, but it's a, to her it's not like the solo begins, it's just like her part swells,
Yeah.
her part continues, and the others drop away, and she hasn't changed at all, you know. She's just
Going
playing her heart out.
Yes.
We are both the instrument and the musician.
Yes.
And neither, you know.
Yes. And the air inside the instrument.
And the air inside, that's it, and the air inside the instrument. And those who appreciate the sound. And you could hear a pin drop in this hall. It's such a lovely piece of music. She's just playing. And now she's just playing the music because she loves the music, and she's almost forgotten where she is. Now there's a giant engine that's kind of starting up deep, 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 deep below us. Now all of the strings of this instrument that we are becoming are all starting to vibrate, and some of them are us and some of them are not us, and I don't know how much is us and how much isn't.
That's
and
true.
It doesn't matter, because it isn't our job to make that call in somebody who is really, really, really good at it, did it. And so we deepen the merge with the previous universe known as free will. It's this zone of Grandma Universe, right?
Yes.
No margin. I can reach out through it, and there is no
That's
edge
true.
to our universe. It just goes right into the rest of Grandma U. This zone was a free will zone, but now, of course, the boundaries are dissolved, and now rules apply. And now the concert is over, and this young woman musician is taking her instrument home. It has a case that looks kind of like a yoga mat bag.
Yes.
And she carries it on her back, and it's cold where she is, or it's the cold. She goes out at night and it's cold. She's sad that something didn't happen. And her, kind of like a coach or somebody is
Yes.
with her saying, "Honey, it's your first time. Why are you feeling bad about this? This was wonderful. You did great. You didn't win." Oh, it was some kind of contest.
Yeah.
And she's crying, really. He's kind of having us look up, and it's like there's a big, it looks like Carnegie Hall seats, you know, there's a big room up there.
Yes.
And around me it's like an orchestra that has finished playing, you know, and people are getting up and packing their instruments. Check me on that.
That's true.
And they're saying, "Come back again." I asked if I should play my grace cards, and they said, "Don't worry."
No, don't worry.
Yeah, this is like, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And they're talking about how important it is to give everyone their window of opportunity, and that this is a not last chance, but like last chance of a certain kind. There's no benefit or grace to rushing the process.
It's true.
And to let it take what it takes. And that now we look up, and I see the portal that we've been seeing and look at everybody there. They're just right there, and they have a big bag of, sometimes it looks like water, and sometimes it looks like money, and sometimes it looks like other things, but it's support. And that they're waiting for the strings to vibrate in perfect harmony, and that, but they're there, and that the moment that happens, the bag of support comes down and hits the target, and it looks like that phosphorus experiment when things explode. Flash of light. That's what they're saying. They'll pour this down and there'll be a flash of light.
Yes.
And that the strings have to vibrate in perfect harmony for that to occur. And that there are key players who are being given the opportunity to come sit. But there's a time limit.
Yes.
And when the limit's up, the limit's up. You know, when time's up, time's up. And then no more new musicians entering the hall. Meanwhile, every time we get together and every time we work this, we'll be vibrating some more, vibrating some more, vibrating some more. How may we be of service? I said to tune it, tune the energy, because it is a special skill. I'm good at it. Tuning the energy of this space. This instrument hall, this concert hall, this instrument of us, this pillow, like I'm seeing it so many different ways.
Yes.
And tuning it to perfect frequency, whatever that is. I see the watcher. She's here.
Yes.
It's wonderful to see you again. I don't see the wizard.
No.
His heart is broken right now.
Yeah.
But it's possible. If a couple more of his pupils showed, that he too would show.
That's possible.
And boy, oh boy, does he ever deserve a seat at the table, right?
It's true. And we're all still here at the 100 in the circle.
How may we be of service to trigger the awakening? Friends, if you have friends that should be here that aren't, if there's a face that you know, a face that's missing, now is the time to go to them and say, last call, join us, last call. This window is closing. We don't know how many more calls there will be. 3, 2, 1, we don't know. We don't know. But that it's open right now, and there are very few more opportunities coming.
It's true.
So if there's a face that you love, a face that should be here, now is a good time for you to speak up. I already see the blue tunic guy here.
Yes.
And we've already spoken to Charlie. Is there anything else that we're supposed to do? Anyone else we're supposed to speak to or ask about?
I don't know. I see people starting to pack up.
Yeah, I do too.
It's like rehearsal is over, but
after the rehearsal, conversation is still going on, and people are talking about plans and what they're going to do and what their next gig is.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that this is a short-term commitment, and some people look unhappy about that, like they don't want to think about needing to get a new gig.
It's true.
They don't like these, they're grumbling about that. These gigs that don't last.
Yeah, lots of rehearsals for few performances.
Yeah, lots of rehearsals. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
What is the gift of that kind of situation, where you have lots of rehearsals and few performances?
The people in this room are wonderful, for the most part.
It's a blessed way to spend an hour or 2 hours. What a fabulous...
Rehearsals are great with this group and with this piece of music.
I love this music.
And the performance, it's different. There's an audience, the air is different, but in the rehearsal it's just
us.
Us and the music.
Just us and the music.